Let's get into a new episode of the Kempire here on the Kempire Radio Network and on the Kempire Radio YouTube. Guys, it's another week. I'm trying to be consistent, but as you know, look, things happen. We're busy. And so many of you are like, oh, can we do this? I'm always trying to be pulled into interviews and other podcasts and other YouTube channels. And literally trying to provide pop culture news is a full-time job. So sometimes I don't have an opportunity to do that podcast or to do an interview or things like that. So please don't take it personally to those of you that have reached out about doing some sort of collab. I've just been really busy, honestly. But I did make time a couple of weeks ago to do a podcast. The word on the street is podcast. I will post the link in the description of this episode, so be sure to check that out and let me know your thoughts. But back to our podcast. It is Pride Month, and as you can see, I'm wearing my Pride merch, or if you're listening to the podcast, head on over to teamkempire.com/shop for your Pride merch. All right, so it is Pride Month. I haven't really done anything for Pride besides talk about it and get into a new show. Queer as Folk is a new show, but not really. As you know, Queer as Folk is a reboot. There was a show that was on, I believe it was Showtime, but before that, it was also a English show. And I know some people were asking, like, why do Americans always, because look, we can't get an original thought. I wasn't sure about a Queer as Folk reboot. When they did the L Word reboot, I wasn't sure about that either. However, I didn't mind this. But one of my criticisms of the show, the friendship connection, I feel like is missing. But also, if you were or a part or knew someone that died in the Pulse tragedy that happened a few years ago, then it's kind of triggering. And I didn't go through that, but I did know a couple of people that passed away, and I have a friend that's very much involved in that whole situation, and knew quite a few people that passed away as well. I feel like Queer as Folk, the reboot, is a little triggering because they're talking about a lot in regards to a shooting that happened on the show. I get it. I appreciate them doing this, but at the same time, I was like, it's a little the way it plays out. But one of the things that I feel that it's lacking is that true friendship connection that we got from Queer as Folk. I feel like this one, although one of the things that I will say that I do love about it is representation of LGBT community in this show, but also I do love the representation of not just the LGBT community, but also those that may have a disability. And I think a lot of people, they never thought of that, but I actually personally know people that have a disability and are a part of the LGBT community and feel left out in a lot of different ways. I love that is being represented on the show. However, I don't love Noah. And if you haven't watched the show, you're not going to know the characters' names, but you'll recognize the actual actor. But I don't love Noah, and maybe that's the sign of good writing, because how are you going from sleeping with your ex's best friend to now sleeping with your ex's brother? I mean, you got to have a plot. The star, I would say, I wouldn't say the star, but he's the first character you're introduced to. Brody is exactly who they were trying to. He's the archetype of that friend that sleeps with everyone, that's emotionally immature, that doesn't get it, can't hold down a relationship. Beautiful actor. I don't know the name yet because I didn't do my Google schmoogle yet on him. Beautiful. He's beautiful. I mean, the cast is a good looking cast. Don't get me wrong. And we also get appearances from other, people that you're familiar with within the community. So I kind of love seeing that. Even America's Next Top Model is a part of this. I can't think of his name, but look, I'll Google Schmoogle and I'll post it in here. Or matter of fact, just watch the show. Watch the show. Queer as Folk is available on Peacock, the streaming app. They don't pay me, but they should. No, I just say that. I don't want them to pay me. But a discount code for our listeners would be nice. Just saying. Anyways, so I'm enjoying Queer as Folk. I'm glad that we got it this month. I really wanted to highlight quite a few different conversations about being a part of the community and some of the things that I see in regards to programming. I know Discovery Plus also has a documentary of sorts. I can't recall the name, but I'll post links in the description so that you guys can go check it out. I know Discovery Plus has something. So this is a month full of things that people are focusing on and celebrating, including Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to anyone that's celebrating. Happy Black Music Month. I've been celebrating that on our community tab on YouTube. Also, it's Juneteenth. It's Juneteenth. So for those of you that aren't familiar with Juneteenth, Google schmoogle. I'm not going to teach you here. But it's now a federal holiday, and I'm glad, finally, after how many years, Black people have been celebrating Juneteenth. At least Black Americans have been celebrating Juneteenth for a very long time. So now that it's a federal holiday, it's about time. It's about time. But Pride Month, some of my memory, the last episode I shared with you some of my memories of Pride Month. I forgot to tell you, well, I didn't forget. I'm saving some of the stories for the rest of the month. We're celebrating Pride all month. Well, one of the Prides, I celebrated performing. Yes, as you guys probably don't know, I have a musical background, singer, songwriter. Not only was I a performer, but I also managed artists and things like that. I've been very heavily involved in music for a very long time. I haven't put out new music in a couple of years, but you can Google schmoogle me and you'll find some of my music. I'm not trying to promote. I'm trying to tell you a story. So I grew up on Staten Island. Staten Island is very conservative. So, as I said last week, a lot of times in order to feel free and to be myself, I would leave the island to go to the village, go to Manhattan, to be with my fellow gays. You know what I mean? To go to the pier, what you probably saw in documentaries and in shows and things like that about New York City and the, gay community or the LGBT community. So, I did perform at one of the first prides. It wasn't the first pride that Staten Island had, but it was one of the early prides that Staten Island had, and I performed. And I had a great time performing. Staten Island Pride I don't know what it's been like recently because I haven't been. However, because it was so early on, it was very new and not everyone was really out. And I think a lot of people didn't want to necessarily show up. But I did show up. I showed up with my friend. I performed. They put me towards the end, and everyone's like, why they put you towards the end? They should have put you at the beginning because there were a lot more people. But look, as a performer, you understand sometimes your life is, sometimes your life is a little womp, womp, womp. But look, I performed around New York City at some legendary places and some not so legendary places. So it is what it is. But I had a great time performing. I performed some of the songs that you can find now on streaming apps. And I kind of miss performing, but I get to perform on YouTube all the time. But when I say perform, it's very different. It's not my singing voice. Professionally trained singer, by the way. Just saying. But yeah, so that is another Pride memory that I had. I remember that performance, and I remember how important that performance and Pride was because Staten Island is so conservative, and it's still very much conservative. But I love seeing that people that were my age now, that are my age, that were, that are in their 20s now, have a different experience here on the island and even in New York City than I did in my early 20s or teens and things like that. A lot of kids are coming out a lot earlier. I don't know how they're doing it, but good for them that they're finding themselves, and you can avoid a lot of the mistakes that some of us have made over the years. So with all of that being said, that's one of my favorite Pride memories, and I almost completely forgot about it. I think I actually have the audio somewhere. Or the video. No, I think I also have the video footage somewhere. If I can find it, I'll post it in the video form of this video. But let's get into some hot topics, and we have to talk about the queen of hot topics. I know you see her behind me. Let's talk about Wendy Williams. So Wendy Williams and the Wendy Williams show, the Wendy Williams show ended on Friday, June 17th. After rumors of this date happening, they confirmed it earlier in the week, confirming that the Wendy Williams show would end without Wendy Williams. I'm not going to rehash all of the back and forth, all the news coverage that we've been following and reporting on the Kempire Daily YouTube channel. But Wendy Williams literally is in a conservatorship, guardianship, because she does not have control of her money. It's a sad situation, and it's a sad way to go out. I know Kevin Hunter, or AKA Kelvin Hunter, her ex-husband, spoke out and said it was a travesty the way that the show ended. And to be honest with you, it was. It was a travesty because I did watch it. I know Wendy watchers on Instagram wanted people not to watch it, and I respect it, I get it, but as someone that's reporting stuff, I want to also be able to say, well, no, I watched it. It was actually a nice tribute. However, it was a nice tribute, but it was a small portion to this last show. I understand behind the scenes, we don't know necessarily what happened between production and Wendy Williams. Is Wendy Williams 100%? No, she's admitted that, especially when it comes to her physical health. However, you guys still could have did a tribute from beginning to end that celebrated Wendy and not an interview. Yes, it was nice to have Vanessa Williams, who was the first guest on the very first season, first episode of the Wendy Williams show. But it would have been nice from the very beginning to the end that you guys celebrated Wendy. I think fans would have appreciated throwbacks to some of the interviews and funniest moments and, the ups and downs, maybe even some of the downs, just to show like how resilient Wendy has been over the years. Even a salute to her radio career. All of that was missing from this final episode. And I have to agree with Kelvin, even though I don't want to, it felt like a travesty. Anyone else notice that Sherry, as you guys know, a lot of people say, I'm not going to watch Sherry. I'm going to give Sherry's show a chance. Like I'm going to give the Jennifer Hudson show a chance. Like I gave The Real a chance. Like I gave some of these other shows a chance. The Kelly Clarkson show, which is doing very well, a chance. But Sherry just seemed off. Anyone else notice that? She just, even her face, the way she spoke, she just seemed off at the end. And I think that people appreciated that Sherry wasn't there with the cast and crew. I'm happy for the cast and crew because they're able to keep a job a little bit longer. A little bit longer. Look, the world of daytime is not guaranteed. It's a hard market. And I know Dubmar Mercury is really trying their damnedest to make sure that the show is successful. And I'm sure they were very surprised that Nick Cannon's show was not successful. I was surprised too because Nick Cannon has had many successful shows where he's hosted. So you think that would translate into daytime. But apparently he's a better nighttime person, primetime person. So don't be surprised if you see a primetime show from Nick Cannon. You also know that we reported on Dubmar Mercury taking Nick Cannon's YouTube channel and replacing all of the information there with Sherri Shepherd. It's business. I'm not surprised, but it's just very shady. It's very shady. But we salute Wendy Williams because, and if you missed our tribute on the Kempire Daily YouTube channel, we talked all about her radio career, all the memories from the Wendy Williams show. We also had people call in and share their thoughts. I felt like it was a solid tribute to her that we did. I salute Wendy. I hope whatever is going on with Wendy, that she's able to get to a space where she is able to do what she loves, that she is able to have the independence when it comes to her life and her money. That's my wish for Wendy. And then if we can get a podcast later, fine. But I just want her to focus on those goals first. So shout out to Wendy Williams, the queen of all media. So before we get into the whole Diana Jenkins and Sergio from the Real Housewives of Dubai, I have to talk about some of the side stories. Elephants are trending. Elephants are being made out to be something that they're not. I don't know if I love the narrative so far when it comes to elephants. First off, a lot of you have been asking, so, our community continues to grow, and I know I've talked about this before. I've had an affinity to elephants for years. I've loved elephants. I've had figurines from traveling, just something just always connected me to elephants, their power. And if you Google the symbolism of elephants, but also just the true nature of elephants, I know a lot of people like to say that the lion is the king of the jungle. No, the elephant is truly the king of the jungle. All of that being said, there is a story that started trending and people have been going in on elephants and the elephant had time today. Y'all gonna stop playing with nature. So this is a story. I'm just gonna give you a quick synopsis of the story. Basically, this elephant attacked this woman and ended up traveling, from what I hear, from what I read, traveling a good portion to go to her funeral and toss her body around. Her dead body. I've been meaning to cover and talk about this story, but the Diana Jenkins of it all, the pop culture news of it all. But I've been seeing this, and then I've been seeing some other video footage of elephants attacking humans. I'm just a little scared that people are going to start spreading this narrative about elephants. No, elephants are normally very gentle. You know what I mean? Only if we have to remember elephants are wild animals, though. So that can be very unpredictable. Well, thank God when I went to India, was it India or Nepal? It was on the same trip. I can't remember. I think it may have been in Nepal, where I was in the water bathing an elephant. If I had seen this footage, I probably wouldn't have done it. But I love that I did get a chance to do it. I did get, I love that. But I'm a little concerned that people are now going to be afraid of elephants. I'm a little now, just based off of the footage. I'm just like, but again, nature, wild animals, that's what it is. Stop playing with elephants. Stop playing with us. All of that being said, let's move on. So Diana Jenkins from the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills is coming under fire. But before we get into that, the other person who has lost some heat, because everything dropped the same time, was Sergio. You know, Caroline Stanberry's husband. Well, some old alleged tweets. I have to say alleged because I have not confirmed. I haven't seen anyone confirm that this was actually his Twitter. People can Photoshop things. However, I haven't seen a statement from Caroline or Sergio denying that these tweets do belong to him. I'm going to skip over the Trump stuff because the Trump supporters be coming out. And I know you guys try to make it about political affiliation. No. It has nothing to do with you being Republican or Democrat, that whole trumping for Trump. It has nothing to do with that. It's the people and the people associated with the situation that makes people go. And then you get another tweet from Sergio where he uses the N-word. He's repeating a song lyric and actually writes out the word on Twitter. Sergio, I know you are so thankful that this happened and was exposed the same day that Diana Jenkins was calling out a black content creator. So Diana Jenkins, as you know, on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, people have had mixed feelings, but you know how we like to twerk on the fence. So we were like, I'm going to try and be open to her. Yes, we've heard the rumors of her being friends with Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein and this call girl situation. This last episode of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, they actually bring it up because I didn't realize it was associated with her book where Lisa Rinna's in it. And that's where the rumors of her being a madam started to come up. She has denied these rumors. However, she can't deny what she posted on Philly Diva's Instagram. So Philly Diva on Instagram posted this meme where it shows a photo of Diana from years ago and then a photo of her now. And this was a meme. She just reposted it. But she also tagged Diana in her caption, which was, her caption really didn't, it wasn't mean. It was a little shady. So Diana, though, comments twice on this. First of all, she talked about, it's the same thing that she does on the show. Well, I came from war-torn Bosnia. And yes, we understand that. And we appreciate where you've come from. Apparently, you only use it, though, and you weaponize it almost. All of that being said, then she comments, it can't feel good being a black content creator. What? I had to read it a couple times. You guys were tagging me and sending it to me. Philly Diva tagged me. I said, what does that mean? What does that mean? We don't know. Well, she then went, after she blocked Philly Diva, after she blocked her, went back to apologize because she saw everyone, all the Bravo fan sites, everyone was reporting. People were tagging Andy. And then she issued an apology. And it looks as if that Philly Diva doesn't accept it. Check out my conversation with Philly Diva. All right, let me bring up Philly Diva because I know Philly Diva has something to say. I'm sure.
Hi, everyone.
First of all, just tell me your intention in posting this meme.
Honestly, for those of you who have seen me in this chat and various other chats, I am not malicious. I am shady. Yeah. And I look, oh, excuse you. My daughter in the background saying, yes, she is. Now, we have all, for those of us who live past our 20s, decades past our 20s, we don't look the same.
Yeah.
I don't look the same as I did when I was 23. And somebody could post mine and say, oh, that ain't the same child. But what I said was in regards to the show, her coming from a poor place, war-torn Sarajevo, that has been her, I don't want to say her mantra, but, her conversation piece, getting to know her and not being nouveau riche, new money. Okay. So me being shady, I guess the first one was the poor one and the second one is the rich one. I mean, your face looks different. Yeah. And that is it. That was not, me saying she looks disparaging in one and more beautiful in the other. It just looks like two different women. Now that's weight loss and fillers or whatever, you choose to do, makeup. We all look different.
Yeah.
So when she commented
and did she comment the first comment or was it the Black content creators came first?
It was the first comment.
Okay.
It was the first comment.
She was talking about coming from
yes. And my immediate reaction was, but you're not addressing what I said. Yeah. And I said what I said. And keep that same energy with the person who created the meme over on Twitter. Those white content creators who have way more followers than I do. Shout out to all my followers. I thank you. Because I had 6 when this posted.
Okay, girl. How many do you have now, girl?
I am reaching 1,500 in less than 24 hours. So thank you. I appreciate it.
Wow.
And that's what I meant. Because at the end of the day, you were coming for me because you saw me as no one. You saw me as a person who has 6 posts. That is it. 6 posts in one night. I got my account set up. You come for me, I come for you. That's right, baby. You come for me, I come for you.
So, for those that are just joining us, if you've been under a rock, there is this post that Philly Diva posted and Diana Jenkins from the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills commented. And it wasn't her first comment that got people triggered. It was the second comment where she referenced it can't feel good to be a content creator, a Black content creator, which had a lot of people thinking like, what are you saying? She has since posted an apology. I want to ask you how you feel. First of all, when she posted the Black content creator, how did you feel about that?
I had to reread what I wrote.
Okay, so it wasn't just me.
It wasn't just you. I had to reread what I wrote because my reaction was keep that same energy with the white content creators who have way more followers. Yeah. And that is not a Black and white thing. That is an analytics Bravo sphere thing. We all know that most of those higher algorithm type accounts, those are not people of color.
No.
I had been on the scene for 3 hours before she jumped right up in there. And because I tagged her, I don't know if she has anything else to do. She got a little kid. My daughter's 7 and I'm busy. She's right here. So what are you doing, sis? But that's okay. That is her journey.
Yeah. So when she posted the whole Black content creator, and now she's since issued this apology. Have you responded to the apology? I didn't see if you responded.
Well, she just unblocked me.
Oh, she blocked you after she said it?
She blocked me. She absolutely blocked me. because real talk, I felt bad. Like, I'm like, wait a minute, did I say something wrong? Like, did I go too hard? Like, I used to say way meaner stuff than this. Like, I didn't think that this was that bad.
Yeah.
And I really was.
I didn't see anything wrong in what you said.
I mean,
you originally posted, you were reposting something that someone, I feel like what the original post said was a lot meaner.
and they're on Twitter with a lot more followers. So that just leads me back to my point again. Like, why are you picking on the little guy? Like, I'm in here 3 hours before you jump in my comments, and I appreciate it because now you have motivated me to really see what, room number 23 is about. You have motivated me to really get into my, Bravo thing and see what I can do with this as far as on a monetary basis. You have motivated me, Ms. Jenkins, so I appreciate that. However, by doing that, now I'm going to keep my foot on your neck.
How do you feel about her apology? Do you accept her apology?
Her apology was for the streets.
Oh.
Just like her. You know what? I'm going to keep that one until it's proven.
Come on. As Michelle Obama, go higher.
Yes. But no, that apology was for Instagram, and, because it gained traction. Again, I'm not sure what time everybody, where everybody is, but here in Philly, it's about 1:30 in the afternoon. So again, it's very surreal that this is happening. I post memes on my personal page all the time.
Yeah.
Like, I tag people in my personal page all the time, and they never come for me. Yeah. They never come for me. They're not checking for me. So it was a little off-putting, and it was, like, whoa, I did not expect that.
Yeah.
That was a black comment. Like, if you want to talk about what a black comment is in the context of what she's referring to, she's referring the literal word black, meaning nothingness, black. Clearly in my picture, I am showing you what a black content creator is. I said that I am in a space of black content creators. Keep that same energy. So you knew what you were saying. Like,
so you don't believe her excuse of a language barrier?
I absolutely. She's clumsy with her words, not Sutton.
Oh.
You want to say somebody's clumsy with her words? Like, what you did was activate the wrong one. I'm like, Candy, was somebody talking about her mama? You activated the wrong one. So I will now make it my weekend's mission to really just kind of go hard. And I'm not sure. She didn't think anybody would follow. She didn't. Again, I had maybe.
She didn't think it would blow up the way that it blew up.
No, I had 6 followers. 6, maybe 15, maybe. And as I'm talking to you now, my Instagram notifications have not gone off. Chanel Iman reposted my story. I live.
Wow.
Tamara Judge, it's like, I'm not worrying about her. I'm not worrying about her. She did it to herself. She did it to herself. Wow. Other people have posted way more mean things.
What do you think that Bravo should do? Because, here on the channel, we've covered a lot of things that Bravo stars have done. And we've, the most recently was the Jenny Wen situation. I posted on Twitter after all of this played out this morning. It looks like Bravo will probably be settling their discrimination lawsuit that NeNe has against them. What do you think that Bravo should do in this instant? A lot of people already want to be like, oh, fire Diana. Like, what do you think should happen?
It's crazy because when the stuff happened with Jenny, I was in here saying, get rid of her. Mm-hmm. And now that it has affected me personally, I'm still kind of get rid of her. I would like to see how she responds at the reunion. Like, I would love to be able to send in a video and ask a question. Like, you apologize before you unblock me. So if a tree falls in the woods, is anybody really here? Oh. So, I mean, that's it for me. No. I'm never the one to stop somebody check, but she a billionaire and allegedly is a madam. So, bye.
Well, Philly Diva, anything else before I let you go? I do appreciate you taking the time out to respond to this and use our platform to put out that response.
No, I just really want to thank everyone in, the Bravo, Instagram, YouTube space that has just really shown me grace and compassion and really a very friendly, kind, and welcoming energy. Like, again, I'm just getting started. Like, I was just posting pictures from an event and a meme. So I really just appreciate everyone's good energy and vibes, and yeah, we just want to do what it do.
And remind everyone where they can follow you.
You can follow me at philly.diva on Instagram. TikTok is soon to follow. My daughter's going to make me do it, I know. So right now, you can catch me on the Philly, PHILLY dot diva. There is another Philly
And
diva.
we'll post a link in the description of this video, because you know what we do. Cite our
sources.
Philly Diva, I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to respond to this. And I know a lot of people see that comment as just, oh, it's a racial comment, but people don't realize that as Black people, but also as Black content creators, proudly Black content creators, we receive all kinds of comments, and you'll see this as you start to embark on this journey as well, that people don't know if that was like the 10th comment that you've got about your skin color today.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I believe. No, I don't believe. I don't believe
it.
Diana Jenkins in her apology.
No, and it's okay. She can have it. It's for the streets.
Oh, Philly Diva, thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody, so much. Thank you.
Shout out to Philly Diva for allowing us the opportunity to have that exclusive conversation about this whole Diana Jenkins situation. As I said before, there was always something, and I feel like so many people have said it, there was always something about Diana Jenkins that people were just like, I don't know. And look, the pretentiousness, look, we're used to housewives doing that. We didn't love it on her because we know that she is new money, and there's nothing wrong with being new money, and there are a bunch of ladies that are new money on these shows. However, they don't act like it. And when I have my money, I'm not going to act like it either. I'm going to act like I got old money. But that's me. Just saying. But Diana Jenkins has been rubbing people the wrong way. Look, I know a lot of people are advocating for her to be fired. I don't think you had to worry about that. I think this was definitely the nail in the coffin, but I don't think you had to worry about it. I think just what she's given us, I use loosely, because she hasn't given us much of anything. This past week, she didn't want to talk about the rumors because it led to all of this stuff. And I'm like, okay, why did you even come on this show when you have such a dark past? I know it's all alleged, but we always say this, though, about some of the rich people that come on the show. And I always remind you, it's because they love their money and they love fame. They love their money, but they love fame more. They want to be known. Now people know who Diana Jenkins is. Now, even more, for the wrong reasons. So as you saw from my interview with Philly Diva, then you saw that she basically was blocked when Diana decided to go back and apologize. So a lot of people were saying, well, does that mean anything at this point? And her apology, non-apology, making excuses, she consistently uses a language barrier. And look, I've told you this before. I definitely understand that, because when you travel, you understand when people are learning English and things like that, there is a barrier. But your excuse for what you're saying and then and adding your one non-white friend, it's screaming everything that you're thinking that I'm thinking. Diana Jenkins, you can go for all of the reasons. And I'm definitely a proud Black content creator. Don't know what you were getting at that point, but like Philly Diva said, I feel as if because you thought that she didn't have a lot of followers and now you've given her so many, that you thought it would no one would care. Nope, we care. And thank you for showing us who you really are. Speaking of the housewives, Carlos King. And I know some of you are so mad at Carlos King constantly talking about the Real Housewives. I get it. However, we can't take away that Carlos King has been a part of Real Housewives for a very long time. If anything, that is probably the most important part of his resume. And yes, he has an important resume. Love and Hip Hop, working with Oprah, now working with Oprah again on this particular, franchise of Love and Marriage. So yes, he's a little cocky, but I like a little cocky from people. And I always tell you need to be cocky and let people know what you've done. Because a lot of people like to discredit what you've done for many years. But last week, I also pointed out to you, it seemed as if Carlos King may have had a vendetta against Kandi. And honestly, his recent snippet from an interview that he did with Heather McDonald from Juicy Scoop, people are saying, I think he's taking another dig at Kandi. And now I need to start digging a little bit more. I need to dig a little bit more because now I'm feeling as if there's more here. And it makes me wonder if Kandi really believes that Carlos King is the one who gave the information, the rumor, to Phaedra. That was the rumor. He has denied that. But if Kandi still doesn't see it for him, it makes me wonder. Sidebar. Because this is our podcast, we're going to do a lot of sidebars. Kandi and I know some of you think I'm paid by Kandi, but some of you also think I hate Kandi. So I can never win. So I'm not going to even try. But I do like Kandi. Have I called Kandi out for different things? Yes, come on. But recently on the Real Housewives of Atlanta, Marlo really just hit below the belt. And Kandi just realized that Marlo had been saying some of the things that she recently said in the Carlos King podcast. She's been saying this throughout the season. So Kandi has been blindsided by some of the things that she's also seeing on the show. Marlo, you are coming across such a hater. And I like Marlo. I really do. I don't believe that Marlo's carrying the season. And to be honest with you, no matter how much I come at Drew, her story and her antics are carrying the season. But some of you are saying that's why Atlanta's not that good this season. I don't think that Atlanta's that bad this season. I'm still enjoying it. I'm still looking forward to watching episodes. I'm still enjoying recapping it and having the conversation with you guys. I don't think it's the most iconic season yet, but this is only episode 5, episode 6? So I'm starting to believe, Carlos, that there might be something to the rumors. I know you've denied it multiple times, but I'm starting to believe there's something there. Kandi did something to you. Did Kandi take your man? Did you have a crush on Todd? Well, Carlos King on Juicy Scoop with Heather McDonald is talking about the housewives, and people feel like he's taking a dig at Kandi again because he says the only housewife that should get a spinoff should be Teresa Giudice and her daughters. Maybe in their heyday. But Teresa, based on what we've seen in the last couple of years, is not that entertaining. And I know the Real Housewives of New Jersey fans are going to be like, Teresa's carrying the show. Honestly, no, she's not. The husbands are helping carry the show. I feel like if the ladies didn't engage with her, she would have nothing. And you know why Nene and Kenya are great housewives? Because they understood how important each person played on the show. Nene understood that about Kenya. Kenya understood that about Nene and about other people. Marlo said it also recently. She understands. She loves it when Kenya shades her because she says she understands that's good TV. But Teresa doesn't understand that. Well, maybe a little bit. But Teresa, I have to say, I always listen to what the community is saying, what I see in comment sections that aren't necessarily my community, because sometimes like-minded people gather together. So you're sort of like in this tube of, oh no, there are people that love, no, and there are people that love Teresa. I love Teresa. She's my Taurus sister. I know. But honestly, I don't want to see a show with Teresa, her daughters, and Louis. He also mentioned Louis. Take a listen to what Carlos had to say on Juicy Scoop.
My opinion, the only current housewife who I think deserves a spinoff is Teresa and her daughters. I would watch Teresa, Louis, and their family like for weeks. I don't want to see any housewife with a spinoff. No. I don't know. You're meant to be in an ensemble. Stop trying to be the Beyoncé of Bravo.
Right.
And understand your role in this ensemble.
Yeah.
Because 98% of them think they can carry a show. And I'm telling you, you can't.
Yeah.
Even
Do
if
you
you're
think
sharing...
that Teresa can be the next Kris Jenner? And the girls can have the fun fights that the Kardashians have, but then make up the next day.
100%. I was with those girls when they were like toddlers. And
you old troll.
Right.
Give me some pizza, you old troll.
I was with those girls. I was in the delivery room when Adriana was being born.
Yeah.
That's how much I go back with these ladies and these girls. They can handle it. The fact that Gia stood up to her uncle.
Yeah.
Which was great.
Yeah.
That's the shit I want to see. And at the end of the day, Heather, there's so much love when it comes to that family. And like you mentioned earlier, when Teresa came home from prison, her daughter was like, Joe, we love you, but mom is back. They have this chemistry and this camaraderie that is just juicy TV. So Teresa, to me, is the only current housewife that can handle a spinoff, that is watchable.
So you were not a fan of Manzo Knows Best or whatever that was? Manzo'd.
Oh, Manzo. I don't think I watched.
Okay, Carlos. So a few things. I agree with him. There are a ton of these housewives that feel as if they could carry their own show. And so many of you are saying, give them their own show. No, we don't need that. And we've gotten a couple of spinoffs, but as you also know, Kandi has had multiple spinoffs, successful spinoffs. Even if you want to hate on Kandi and the gang, those ratings were still better than Watch What Happens Live. And I'm not going to go on my tangent and a rant about Watch What Happens Live and what they're doing at Bravo when it comes to Love Match Atlanta, which has an all-black cast, all-black crew, all-black production. Yeah, we learned that. I'm not going to go into it because some of you think I hate Andy. No, I have to know you and to actually have feelings for you to hate you. And I don't hate anybody. But I am going to call you out. I'm going to call you out. So backtracking to what Carlos King said. So Carlos feels as if Teresa is the only current housewife, and this is why people think that he's shading Kandi at the same time, is the only housewife that could carry a show. So I did a poll on Twitter, and based on the poll so far, a lot of you said no. And based off the daughters that we've seen so far, they're cute. And, you know, we love Gia every once in a while. But a lot of people said they hated Gia getting a confessional. They were like, please don't bring Gia to the reunion. So can you imagine a show with them? No. We love the girls. We love that we got to see them grow up. Teresa barely can get a sentence out lately. And I don't know what that's about. When she goes on promo with Dolores, Dolores has to be her mouthpiece because she just... I love Teresa, and we've had some memorable moments with Teresa, but we've had memorable moments with Teresa because she had an ensemble that engaged with her. Teresa and her daughters are not going to be able to carry a show. People might watch it for a minute. They'll be like, oh, let's give it a shot. But no. Even Kim Zolciak, say what you want about her. She was good TV. I didn't watch her spinoff, but a bunch of people still did. And all the stuff that I did see in regards to her spinoff, I was like, all right, I can see why people might like this show because Kim also is a good reality TV star. And she created her own family of characters. But, Carlos, I'm going to be a little shady, but also honest. A lot of people feel as if you believe, as someone that's been behind the scenes, speaking of carrying a show, people feel that way about Nightcap or Carlos King. People feel that way about your show. You are great behind the scenes, and I was open, because I liked you on the reunion for Love and Marriage Huntsville. And I said, let's see what the Nightcap is going to be. And based on what we've gotten so far, Carlos, no shade, but real talk, you can't carry your own show. Just saying. Sorry. That's just my opinion. Other people might like it. Enough shade? Well, I just have to be honest. This is where we get a chance to talk about these different things. But speaking of talking about the Real Housewives of Dubai, there are mixed feelings about the Real Housewives of Dubai based on what I'm seeing. But I have to say my community so far loves the show. And they already have some of their favorites, including Chanel Ion. Chanel Ion, for me, we've already had so many classic one-liners from this woman. She's funny, but she's also peeling back layers of like her trauma. I like her. The dream team for me, and I don't have teams. Y'all know I'm Team Kempire all day. Like if you couldn't tell. You can tell from a t-shirt. But the dream team for me for this show, meaning that I think they make good TV, is Chanel Ion, Lisa Milan, and Caroline Brooks. And Caroline, I don't know if it's the way that they're editing you. I don't care how they're editing you because I've already seen your potential as a housewife. People say villain. I say pot stirrer. I love her confessionals. However, the Caroline Brooks that I'm seeing on Instagram and Twitter is very different. Not very different. I'm being dramatic. Not very different, but it's definitely a lot more likable. A lot more likable. And I appreciate the love, Caroline. I appreciate the love. We have to start calling her Brooks, though, because we have the other boring one on there. However, I will say this. In the last episode, I saw sparks of the Ladies of London, Caroline Stanbury. Little moments. So I'm going to hold judgment and think that Caroline will show up at some point. Not that I expect her to be who she was of the past, but you still have to be entertaining. You still have to engage. Why didn't you go to the fashion show? A real housewife would have went to the fashion show and would have been shady, along with Nina. Y'all are hating on Nina. I don't mind Nina. When I say I like someone, I think people get that mixed up with like, oh, I want to hang out with them. I want to be their friend. They're my favorite. No, I think she's going to be good for the show. I like Nina for the show. I actually like the way that Nina dresses. Sorry, Chanel. I like the way she dresses. To me, it's very classy and beautiful at the same time. If she says that she lived in the Burj Khalifa one more time, even though she said that was the 8th housewife. And then I said, you talking about Sergio? We don't need to see Sergio, honestly. I don't need to see Sergio because he's not bringing anything anyway. Despite the tweet, put that all to the side. He wasn't bringing anything. He's not funny. He's not entertaining. He's not shady. He's not sneaky, at least not so far. We shall see. Whatever. Guys, we're going to wrap it up here. I just want to say thank you all for being so patient and subscribing and rating and reviewing the podcast. It's so important. Don't forget to subscribe to the Kempire Radio YouTube channel as well. It's our backup channel, but this is also where you're able to listen to and watch some old interviews with people like Brandy, Brian McKnight, Danity Kane, Music Soul Child, and of course, this month celebrates 10 years since my interview with Oprah Winfrey. 10 years. So shout out to Oprah. Thank you so much for taking an opportunity out of your busy schedule to call into our radio program 10 years ago this month. Pride Month. How you doing? Shout out to Oprah Winfrey. Shout out to Wendy Williams. Shout out to all of you that are trying to pursue a dream. Keep pushing, keep working hard, and it will happen for you on your timeline. On your timeline. That Oprah interview was 10 years ago. I was still working my corporate job. It took me from then till now to quit my corporate job and to pursue this. And I'm so glad that I did, that I am. And it's only up from here. It's only up from here. Guys, as always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to subscribe to the podcast, Kempire Radio, on all major podcast platforms. Links will be available in the description. And get your Pride merch while supplies last. Talk to you guys later.